Hey, so let's talk about that little voice in your head. You know the one, the anxious one. Today, we're going to dig into a really cool idea from CBT specialist Veronica Walsh that could totally change your relationship with it.
I mean, this quote just nails it, right? Think about it. We absolutely love characters like Bridget Jones or any of those bumbling, lovable heroes in movies because of their anxieties. We're on their side. So why are we so incredibly tough on ourselves for having the exact same human traits? This is all about learning how to root for ourselves, too.
All right, first up, let's properly introduce this character. Who is this inner voice, really? And what are its signature moves?
Just take a second and think about that. When that voice starts talking, what's its tone? What does it actually say? Turns out it has a few very predictable and honestly kind of boring habits. For starters, it is a complete and total drama queen. This voice doesn't just whisper that something might go wrong. Oh no, it screams that a full-on world-ending catastrophe is just around the corner. It takes one tiny little worry and turns it into a Michael Bay movie in your head.
And of course, it's just relentlessly negative. It is the ultimate pessimist. It's got this laser focus on the absolute worst-case scenario, and it's blind to any of the good stuff, or, the much more likely not-so-terrible outcomes. It thinks it's protecting you, but it's doing it in the clumsiest way possible.
But here it is. This is the most important part you have to remember. This voice isn't just dramatic and negative. It is very, very often just plain wrong. It's not a reliable narrator, and realizing how irrational it is, that's your first big step to getting back in the driver's seat.
Okay, so if this voice makes us feel like we're flawed, let's just go ahead and tackle that feeling directly. Next up, we're going to completely dismantle this myth that there's some kind of normal club that we're all failing to get into.
This quote is just chef's kiss. So true. The idea of some perfectly zen, anxiety-free, normal person is a complete fantasy. Anxiety is just part of the human package. Some of us feel it a little, some of us feel it a lot. The point is, normal town is empty.
And this means that being wired to be extra sensitive or on high alert isn't some kind of character flaw. It could be genetics, you were just born with it. Or it could be the result of things you've gone through in life that taught your nervous system to stay on guard. And for a lot of us, it's a mix of both.
So this, right here, is the big mindset shift. This is the reframe. We're moving away from seeing anxiety as some personal flaw we have to erase, and we're moving towards seeing it as just an aspect of ourselves that we can understand and, that we can manage.
Okay, this is where it gets really powerful and honestly kind of fun. Let's talk about a real game-changing technique you can use to manage this inner voice.
The official term is externalization, and all it means is giving your anxiety a name, a face, a whole character. When you do that, you create space. You create distance. It's no longer this tangled up part of you. It's a separate thing that you can look at, talk to, and even tell to knock it off.
So who is your anxious persona? Is it a Bridget Jones, always convinced everything is an utter disaster? Or maybe it's more of a monkey brain, that primal part that just reacts without thinking? Or is it a wolf, all snarling and hypersensitive and ready to snap? Giving it a name is the first step to taming.
So once you've named your character, what do you actually say to it? Well, now we get to the practical part. Let's look at some scripts you can use to talk back.
So if your anxiety is that dramatic, self-critical type, your response can be really compassionate, but also firm. You're basically saying, I hear you, but I'm not buying the drama. You soothe it, and in doing that, you're really soothing yourself.
But what if your anxiety is more like that snarling wolf? Well, the script has to change. You can't reason with a wolf. You have to assert your authority. This is you taking charge. It's a powerful command to that reactive part of your brain telling it to stand down.
Oh man, this is one of the biggest anxiety traps there is. The post-mortem. Endlessly, and I mean endlessly, replaying a mistake or some awkward thing you said, it's mental torture. But there is a super simple, really powerful way to shut it down.
The antidote. It can be as simple as this. Oh well, so what? Onward. It feels almost too simple, but it's incredibly freeing. It's dismissive. It acknowledges the thing happened, you shrug, and you refuse to give it one more second of your precious energy.
And finally, let's make this new relationship with ourselves stick.
This is all about truly embracing the idea that you are and always will be a work in progress.
And that leads us to this, which might be the most important takeaway of all. This is a fundamental shift in your identity. You stop saying, I am anxious. That's not your identity. Instead, you start seeing yourself as a person who is managing anxiety. See the difference? It's something you have, not something you are.
And here are some new mantras to really bake into your brain. Remind yourself, feelings are not facts. Remind yourself that anxiety is just something that happens. It's not a flaw in your character. That you're a work in progress. That your stress response is a real physical thing and you're actively working on it. This isn't about perfection. It's about being proactive.
And this quote from Alice in Wonderland just captures that spirit perfectly. Every single day is a new page. You can learn, you can grow, you can choose to be different. Yesterday's worries belong to yesterday's version of you.
And so that leaves us with one final question. When you reframe your relationship with that anxious character, you're not just solving a problem. You are freeing up so much mental and emotional energy. You're creating space for new adventures. So, what are you going to do with it?